Hello, Tajikistan. Bunch of legends. Okay, mate. Goodbye. Nice to meet you. Alright, guys. So I'm on the road. I left Lake Iskandakul. Pretty much the only way of getting out of there was with there was a family camping, and I had to pay the father. So they would just chill around the lake, having a good time. They're on their family holiday, and except some stupid Australians like, hey, can you take me down the road? There's a 40k, well, 50k round trip to Savoda. So they can pretty much ask what they want. I paid 200 samoni, which is about 20 US dollars. It's not too bad for him to go out of his way, take me down the road, take me back up again. So that was all good. Got to Savoda, but from Savoda, then the only way was a taxi to the larger village of Aini, and from Aini, so that was 20 samoni, 30 samoni from Savoda to Aini. So it was like $3, and that's not too bad. And yeah, once Aini, I just was pretty much told to stand on the side of the road and flag down a marshrutka or something, but luckily got a lovely Tajik driver here, and he came up to me, doesn't speak any English, but we managed to figure it out. That he's taken me the whole way to Khujand, so that's really good. I think it's about 4 hours, and he's only charging me 70 samoni. So hopefully we both understand that's 70 samoni and not $70. Oh, that's got me thinking. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so we're on the road now. But look at these rock formations, the colours that are coming through. You might not be able to see. You can really see all the layers. I find it fascinating in this part of the world. Obviously most mountain ranges are formed through tectonic plate movements, and in some mountains you can just really see how they were once flat, and then there's been a tectonic push and they've shifted up. And like here, you can really see that well with the how everything's sort of going up on this angle here with the various layers of sediment over the years, and then the mountain range of the Fann Mountains, the Pamir Mountains, everything's just been pushed up on an angle, and you can see what was down like that is now like that. In some areas it's really evident to see that. I find that kind of cool. It's like when we're up in the Spiti Valley, high up at like 4,000 meters, which was once a ocean floor. It was a seabed that had like fossilized shells and sea creatures and things like that in there. So it's just incredible to me to think what I guess the movement of a tectonic plate all of a sudden creates these massive mountain ranges, the Himalaya being, you know, the biggest of them. So that's pretty gnarly to think of, and even better when you get to sort of see it. Anyway, let's carry on this merry little quest. G'day there, adventurizers. I am in Khujand, otherwise known as Leninabad. Back in the day, back in the Soviet era, my hotel was a fair way out of town, annoyingly, because Khujand seems to be quite an expensive place to stay. Don't know why that is, and there was not a lot of hotels actually to choose from. So I'm walking through, I guess, the outer suburbs of Khujand towards a large abandoned building. So let's go have a look at a large abandoned building. Not really the goal of my walk. Beyond the large abandoned building is a river. I have no idea what it's called, but we'll go check it out. And why, you ask? Well, my furry little friends, because I saw on my offline maps that there's apparently a beach bar down here. And I'm hanging for a piva or dva. So let's go see if we can find ourselves a freaking happening beach bar. It's like 5 p.m. It's still sitting around 40 degrees. There's this hot desert wind blowing, whoa, nearly like that. And so I reckon perfect weather for sitting at a fun, happening bar on a river in northern Tajikistan. Isn't that what all of you guys dream of doing? Psh, Mykonos, who even are you? While we're on our little walk, do you want to know some fun things I learnt today? Fun thing one I learnt today, that was Dushanbe, the capital of Tajikistan, up until the 1920s, was just this backwater, nothing little village. Nobody really had anything to do with, except on Mondays. Mondays it had a market that people would go to there, and that was about all it had going for it back then. Up in the 1920s then, as the 1920s rolled around, it started becoming an important place. Dushanbe in Tajik means Monday. It was only named after the markets that it had on Mondays. They had nothing else going for it. It's just, hey, there's that Monday place that we go to buy some apples or whatever. That's fun thing number one. Fun thing number two, that lake I was at, Iskandakul Lake. Now Iskandakul is Tajik for Alexander, after everyone's favourite little conqueror slash explorer, Alexander the Great, who came through there in somewhere around 300 BC. And yeah, they named the lake after him, or he named the lake after himself. Not sure. I guess if you're Alexander the Great, you can call anything you want after yourself. These mountains, I call them Iskandakul Mountains. This footpath that I'm exploring, Iskandakul footpath. I'd be doing that. I'm kind of an explorer. Well, not really, but I am. But I don't go around calling everything Jake Lake. Although I think it's catchy. Well, wandering down to the river has found me an old Soviet aeroplane. Unfortunately I can't get in. Got a fence, but there's a couple of kittens on the wing. So they've got in there. Jerks. 3 cats on the wing. 3 cats on the wing. 3 cats on the wing. And everyone's gonna win. 3 cats on the wing. Oh, that song sucks. I clearly need a beer. It had a potential. That song had potential. It started so good. Couldn't finish it off. Well, I feel like I have come to where the beach bar should be. No swimming by order of old Gapu Cup. So old Gapu Cups said no. This here, I'm guessing, was once a beach bar or something, because hey, we've got people swimming over here. There's a giant silver dove over there. But here is clearly, you know, you come out from having a swim in the river, here's your beach bar shower facilities. Ooh la la. Have a quick little shower off. He loves it, he loves the beach bar. Have a little shower off. Grab yourself a piva. I think that the offline maps may be wrong. Ah, how the mighty have fallen. Behold! So surprisingly, it looks quite good in here. It looks beautiful and blue. I don't know if it's trickery of the light, but it's like this jade green over there, but it's actually really crystal clear water. So look, I think they've got their shit sorted here. It just doesn't have the little bar anymore. It has the giant silver pigeon, but that's not gonna deliver the goods. So let's go find something that will deliver the goods, because hanging out underneath a bridge is not my holiday. It's not my kind of a holiday, is it? Although I've been to weirder places, let's be honest. Where is Jake now? Well, Jake is standing in front of, let's see if we can get this sun on in front of a 22-meter tall statue of Lenin. What is Lenin doing out here? Look at this big hammer and sickle. How cool is this? That sun's in a really bad spot. There he is. I'll see if I can get back there in a little bit and get a good photo. Damn, the lighting's terrible, but so look at the size of this hammer, the hammer here, and the sickle right out here. I've had to pay a cab to take me. There's walking out here is a very long way away. This statue of Lenin, we'll see if we can keep him in the background there. It's going to be hard. The statue of Lenin was kind of closer to the center of town, and then with the fall of the Soviet Union, they took him off of his mantle and they put the new I guess hero of Tajikistan, who is Samoni. So Samoni, who we saw in Dushanbe, you see Samoni everywhere. The money is named after him. They put a giant statue of Samoni up elsewhere, but here, so then they shifted him here, out in the middle of like this sort of semi-derelict abandoned park, where it looks like, I can see there's a lot of, have a quick look, it's like a, I don't know, a hero's walk of Soviet heroes. There we go, good old mate here. There's just keeps on going, all these Soviet heroes. I've told the cabbie to wait for me because I'm way out in the middle of nowhere, so so we won't go wandering off too far. But there you go, Lenin. He was in Moscow, and they brought him from Moscow all the way here. Where are we? Khujand. Khujand was like a very prosperous, wealthy city, even more so than Dushanbe in its time. And so this area here, no wonder it got a giant Lenin brought here. And this city used to be called Leninabad. So here's the giant Lenin of Leninabad. Alrighty, well that was fun. I'll always love a good Lenin, don't ya? Do you guys? I like how Lenin is looking off over that way to where he used to be, where Samoni is now. He's forever stuck staring at where he was once where the heroes stood. And now, poor Lenin, you're out here with the roses. Okay, if anyone ever wants to find where west is, just follow me when I'm going on a little journey to take some footage of some giant bloody statues, because I'll always get, and they always seem to position them perfectly, always facing east. And so west on the setting sun seems to be every time I try to get one. So anyway, here is Samoni. This is where, so Lenin is over that way. But Lenin used to be here on top of this thing. So he used to have all this, oh, he was once gazing out across the city named after him, Leninabad. How the mighty have fallen. So here we are up on top of the hill, and well, we're not really on, we're top of a hill, not the hills, because they're back up here. I believe they're still the Fann Mountains. I'm not 100% sure on that. But something I saw when I arrived into town was a cable car crossing over the river. So I want to go and see if I can get over on a fun little cable car. But damn, it's still 40 degrees. And this is looking nearly good enough for swimming. If this was in India, there'd be about 4 billion people in here. Well, there's nobody in it. Let's see if we can, oh, is this some Soviet mosaics? I saw some when I was back in Savoda as we're heading on past, and I couldn't get the cabbie to stop. There was some beautiful mosaics. These are not Soviet era, by the looks of things. Nope. The ones I saw back in Savoda, oh my god, they were massive, they were beautiful. Ah, the cabbie wouldn't stop. Oh, stop. And it just kept on going. You had no idea what I was saying. Like, Soviet mosaics! How do we get into this thing? Let's try the door. It generally works. Right on. 20 som. One person, one way. Oh, that's me. 15 som. Okay. When did we pay? We're on. I haven't got a cable car since... when was that? Shimla. You guys remember that in India? Back in, what was that? Himachal Pradesh? Here we go. We're off on our second cable car of the great adventure across Asia. So here we go. And you know when it's just so hot and you just need water and you just need to immerse your body in cold water? That is calling out to me. Oh, we're stopped. Oh my god. This is like the worst idea ever. I'm in this like perspex, I'm in a glass cage of emotion right now. Oh, this thing is so hot. It's 40 degrees outside and I'm in like this little oven. It's just cooking me. There's no windows. There's nothing can open. There's like a gap down here. We can get some air. Oh, Jesus. Okay, let's rattle along. Whoa. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. We haven't even got to the river yet. This is boiling me. I'm boiling alive. Oh god. I'm doing like, this is very Euro, yeah? Like if you're in Italy and you're hot, or Asia, actually anywhere other than Australia and New Zealand, this is acceptable, I feel like. Holy shit, man. This is, we're above a stadium that looks like I can see it in a heat haze. There's nobody on it because everyone's smart enough to seek shelter. Look, they've got a lovely soccer ground over here. Oh my word, oh my word. If we can get through this suffrage will make the beer all better. I don't know if you can see, some of these just have like couches in them. Like they've just got grandma's couch and chucked it in there. That's VIP. Take your sweetheart in the evening when it's cooler, and some popcorn and a Coke, because I think this ride's going to go for about as long as your average full-length cinematic experience. A movie. I'm talking about a movie. This will probably go for as long as a movie. By the way, I figured out I can open up the window and get a slight bit of breeze. It's not enough to make me feel completely safe in the fact that I might die of heat exhaustion, but it will stave it off for a little longer. But we're nearly at the river, so that's good. Got a lot of soccer fields here for you, tennis courts, swimming centre. It's all going on. And now, look at this river, and it is surprisingly clear looking water. I'll be damned if I'm not going in that tomorrow for a little swim. Although I think that guy I just saw taking a piss. Way to ruin the mood, mate. And this river is so clear, you can see the bottom of it. You can see like the seaweed over here. I think I'm just too used to the rest of sort of southern Asia, where you it's just a toxic ooze. To this, look at that. That's just beautiful and crystal clear water. I would sup from that water. Sup I might. Okay, we're off. Survived it. Holy hell, that was about half an hour of being in a Swedish sauna. I've lost so much weight. Okay, let's get something to drink. Alrighty, I've had some cool carbonated soda. And I'm walking through the lovely central park of Khujand. So I dunked my little head under one of the fountains earlier. Oh, it was so good. And those with astute peripheral vision will be seeing over here a fortified wall. So I'm going to get to this wall in a second, but I've got a theory. Alexander sounds much like Iskander. Alexander does not sound like Iskander cool. I reckon old mate Alexander the Great, he was like, you know what, can you guys just, you know, chuck cool in at the end of my name everywhere? You know, and they're like, no, we can't. Like, Alexander's Iskander. He's like, nobody will know. In a couple of 100 years and maybe 1,000 years, they'll still be talking about me. And they're like, whoa, way to have a big head, dude. He's like, I know, but maybe they will. And if you can just chuck cool on the end, no one's going to question it. So then they're just like, okay, Alexander the Cool, Iskander cool. I'm onto him. So what he's done, you know what else he did? And I reckon he probably threatened him. He said, look, you call me as King Alex the Cool, and I'll build you an awesome fort. So he did. He built them this. This here was Alexander the Cool's, one of his most, what's the right word? Furthest outposts of his, is it an empire he had? Can one guy have an empire? I don't know, but he did. So this is like his like far out man places. Far out man. So it's been rebuilt obviously. When I was up in the little chairlifty thing, cable car, that's what it's called, you kind of see like inside and it's just mud walls, in the original state of it. But it's been pretty well built the way that it was. You know why it became mud walls? Well, just a crumbling mass of mud, which is what's on the other side of this. Oh mate, Genghis Khan came through here and he's like, well, screw you, Alex Cool. I'm gonna bulldoze this thing. So the Mongols came through and just flattened it. So they didn't really do a lot of good, did they? Like, you don't hear of like the Mongols just going, oh, they came and they built an awesome fort, or they put in some great, they invented some sick stuff like what are the aqueducts that what did the Romans ever do for me? Education. so what did the Mongols ever do? Well, I mean, you can go to a nice Mongolian restaurant, I suppose, but that's about it. Like, apart from that, they just sort of went across Asia flattening everything. They're just an empire of bulldozers. Good one. I'm sure you're all fine. I've not been to Mongolia. We should go. Maybe I shouldn't go there now. Oh, Jesus. I will make you call me Jack the Great. Jack Cool. Anyway, this is it. There's a museum inside. It's probably shut now. It's 6 o'clock, although the doors are open, which sometimes gives the effect that it's open. So Jesus, I think I've fried my brain in that cable car. Let's have a look. Ah, beautiful doors, right on. And again, we've got this just fantastic little, someone's had to go beep, 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 all over that. All right, I don't know if I'm much in the mood for a museum right now. It's, you know, when you're just having a good time, it's a sunny Wednesday afternoon, and you're like, and you're with your buddies, and then someone goes, to the museum! And everyone's like, the fuck, man? Like, seriously? We were going to a beer garden. So I chose the museum. Let's do some culture. There's a bit of English here, but it doesn't really tell me too much of what's happening. But all around the walls here, I think it's depicting, so this is what I'm taking out of it, it's depicting Alexander the Great's, I don't know, arrival to this part of the world. Everything is very Greek looking. Alexander the Great was from Macedonia or North Macedonia. I think it was Macedonian, not North Macedonian. We'll let the Greeks and the Macedonians argue that one. But it seems to be there's a lot of Greek going on, so I'm guessing they're all kind of like dressed the same way. So I mean, this here looks like the Parthenon or the Acropolis. And yeah, so maybe this was life here back in the day when who had the trident? Who was that? Got the Romans now. Okay, so what have we got going on here? So the and who's this mob? Romans fighting, wow. Who are these dudes with the green caps? They look a little bit more, I don't know, Celtic? The English? The Saxons? Definitely Robin Hood. Yeah, so this is the Romans fighting Robin Hood and his merry men, and then they go to, who was the eagle head? That was bloody Persia. Righto. And then they carry off Colin Farrell. It's game over for Colin. Oh, glad you came along on that little history lesson. What I'm finding interesting is that I'm walking around in a museum that's depicting pictures of a place that I was in Iran. There's Persepolis. There's nothing really written about it here, but I've walked between these two things that are actually a lot bigger than this would depict. They're massive. Yeah, the ancient city of Persepolis. I find that such a fun thing when you travel as much as I do, that you just end up somewhere completely, well, not completely, on the other side of the world. Okay, we're in Tajikistan, but they're having a display here of a place that most people would probably look at and go, well, I have no idea. Yeah, there's some columns and some cool things. They're actually places that exist. And if you get out there and travel, you get to go to actually stand under these things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm finding this a little bit cool, seeing this. I've got photos of this actual place here. It's really cool. This here probably depicts pretty well where we are, what's going on. These here are the fortified ramparts, I guess, that we've just sort of we've walked through in between here to probably around the other side of it actually, but anyway, this is the beginning of, this is the fort. This is the river that I came over the cable car. So the cable car went across here pretty much. Here's the other side where my hotel is and where the mountains are, and these are the invading Mongolian forces You can see them all. You can't see too well, but yeah, this is what it would have looked like when the Mongols came and invaded, and they came in these little boats. You see little bow and arrows sticking out of it that looked like they made a little roof over it. So they've had the armies over there, came on over the little boats, and came to the fortified walls and then smashed it. So that's inside here is where I am right now. But the Mongols didn't see that coming. Alrighty. Well, that was interesting for 20 minutes. You know what's better than that? Gee, these should be in the museum. Look at this. What an absolute weapon. A metallic green. Oh, this is the original one here. Oh, yes. Now these are better than anything I saw in there. Look at these old Soviet cars. Lada 1200. Whoa, this one's got the big engine, the 1300. Whoa, we could race in the Lada 1300 in mint metallic green. Check out the upholstery of the seats. I'm just like looking into somebody's car here, but those seats are amazing. Is that the original, like, I don't know if you guys can see in there. That's fantastic. I love it. This one's got the hood badge. Man, imagine if you could just get one of these and just cruise around Central Asia in an old Lada. Which one would you choose? Okay, let's go and have a look at this building. What's this about? First of all, check out this. This is pretty beautiful here. This is a good looking view. Now, I know I promised you guys, I never promised you a rose garden, but I'll deliver you some grass. What I was going to say was, I know I promised you guys a beer garden, and shortly we will deliver. I was going to have a dad joke. Your name's not Shortly, it's Jake. Oh, whatever. Check this out, there's a mermaid. They love their water fountains in Tajikistan. They're all over them, eh? Now, I'm no scientist, but I reckon these guys have got to be vampire hunters. Oh wait, do they was it onion? It was garlic, wasn't it? Man, they got their car full of onions. The onions keep anything away besides dates. not dates as in like the fruit, not dates as in your bum hole either. Oh god, does an onion do anything? I know it did some great things for old mate Tony Abbott, didn't he? That's an Australian joke. Look at this for a Soviet playground. Isn't this a bit of fun? You can go up the stairs and then back down again. Oh yeah. See, this is something that Australia got rid of because trying to breed a nation of pansies. Back when I was a kid, 40-degree heat, you went down a metal slide that had like ripped bits of metal that would tear your skin open, doesn't fit together properly. Your skin, as soon as it touches it, just sears like a steak on a barbecue, and then you stick, but then eventually your skin gets so hot that it melts off and you're able to slide, leaving a thin layer of your flesh on the slippery dip. That's how we did slippery dips when I was a kid. And you know what it bred? It bred adventurers like me. You know what slippery dips breed today? Little jerks. That's what. Look at this one. I'm gonna go up through the dragon. Nothing here, like one bit of wood, the rest of it you gotta try to like adventurize your way up. This slippery dip, that's breeding adventurers. Soviets knew how to build adventurers. Cheers guys. I found myself a little spot here with a large Baltica and a view over, I think that's the Opera House over here. I think it might be some kind of theatre, fountains, and Alexander the Cool's fort over there. So I reckon you guys have earned yourself a cold one as well. Cheers.